Sadie Laska, we're in your exhibition here at the Newport Street Gallery. You graduated from the Milton Avery Graduate School at Bard in northern New York State. What sort of experience of image and space did that college give you?
Well, it's a really unique program because it's interdisciplinary, so you work a lot with different professors who study poetry, music, film, video, sculpture, photography, and painting, and it's very integrated. So you would have, in your painting studio, you might have a professor or a studio visit with like a sound musician or a poet or someone. So I think it brings a lot of different language and ideas into painting practice, and specifically because a lot of other programs focus so much just on the discipline of painting and questions about like what is painting, and this broadens that a lot. So it was a great program, I loved it.
And you actually worked in the same studio as sound artists and...
The studios are quite small, and we were all pretty thrown together. I had my own painting studio, but a lot of people came through it during the summers that I was there.
You're a member of the drum-based band IUD. Can you tell us about the connections between drumming and your two-dimensional work?
Well, I think that the band is we have a really improvisational approach to making music, where we have like loosely structured songs, and then we have a lot of moments that we're just, improvising and making music on the spot, like when we're performing. And I think painting is a lot like that, actually. You have a plan, and you start to do it, and you have to adjust, and it's kind of an improvisation, at least for me, the kind of painting I'm making. So I think you could say they're quite similar in the way that you think about making something.
The Newport Gallery's description of your works in this show tells us that they evoke rebellious post-pop aesthetic of New York. But do you think it's possible you may be part of a new creative rebellion? And if so, can you tell us a bit about it?
A new creative rebellion. I mean, it's hard maybe sometimes to identify the moment that you're in. Like when you have a perspective from the past, you can often see a movement. I mean, I lived in New York City for almost 20 years, and I have a really close group of artist friends there, and so it's quite active. I go to their art shows all the time, they go to mine, we have studio visits. So I think there are a lot of shared ideas that are circulating, and I guess they are new because it's a contemporary, painting practice that we're all doing. So.
Is this your first show in the UK?
Yeah, this is my first time I've ever showed work in the UK or in London, so it's really exciting to have the work here. And the show is also interesting because the works are from quite a range of time. Some of the earliest paintings that I showed in my first solo show in New York are included in the show, and then I made commissioned work that's like very new and recent. So when you're looking at my works in the show, you'll see things that are from like a 6-year time span.
Well, there's quite a lot of collage of different materials within the.
Yeah. I think about my paintings are kind of collaged paintings, and I like to use a lot of maybe non-traditional materials in them.
What are you working on now?
I'm going to go back to New York, and I'm going to work on a solo show that hopefully will open next spring. Like I said, in the downstairs gallery, there's some quite large paintings. Those were the most recent things that I made, and feel really excited about them, and so I'll probably continue in that framework to make new work.